Before you invest in furniture, you need to size up your home. We've all seen beautiful furnishings that seem lost in a room, or a space that's too crowded to feel comfortable. Both signs of a bad fit. In this week's Inspired Living, Kathy Smith joins me with tips on how to scale and style your design plan. Kathy, when we talk about scale and proportion, it sounds like one of those things that could go very wrong. People pick out stuff they like, they get it in a room, and it just doesn't look right.
It's probably one of the biggest and hardest things to do in design is scale and proportion. Many mistakes are made for that, and even though you can take your measurements, it's the relationship from one item or to another. And if the bigger you go, the bigger everything else has to go. The smaller you go, you have to shrink everything else down. So it's important to keep that in mind. As we see this bed, it's a very beefy bed. If you would,
yeah, it's got some heft to it.
It's got some heft to it, has some weight to it. So when you go to put accessories, and even with the bedding, you can't put a very dainty set of bedding on this bed because it would just look silly. So what you want to do is make sure that you have some bedding that has some weight to it. And also your accessories, if your nightstands are very large, you want your lamps have to be large too. And if you look, there's a smaller lamp on one side and a larger lamp on the other.
You can see the example of this one looks too small for it. It's got not a lot of girth to it.
Yep, and that's to the eye, it doesn't look right. So it's very jarring to the eye.
And now, you also said that under this kind of design concept or principle, we had shape.
Yes. If you see some of these pieces here have some shape, and this also goes to the movement. You'll have a bow front chest like that. And then if you look over there, you've got more shape over there because that bows, all the pieces bow. What you want to do is mix up your shapes. You don't want to keep everything the same.
Sure.
You know, soften it up, soften up the hard edges, and then it flows better.